I come to you today from the world's messiest garage, but it will not stop us from getting work done. And it will not stop us from doing a pack with me, here's what sold video. So, I'm going to shove this all into a box. We can get going. It's a really special day today because, and I almost don't feel like it's real. We all know that when we list, we will get sales. And that's been my experience as an eBay seller for the last 6 years. The thing though is that there are also sellers who list and end up not selling anything. Or at least not anything significant enough to encourage them to continue. The fact is there are sellers who try their hand at eBay, almost give it a full-time effort, and they are left with all this inventory that they cannot move or they struggle to move. Let's not say cannot, because as we all know with the secondary market, used items, things will move eventually. But not everybody has the bank balance to wait for that to happen, which is the reality of business. So the fact that I've seen that be my experience encourages me, but I don't take it for granted, and I definitely don't think of myself as anything super special. There definitely is an element of luck. There has to be an element of luck as well. So since starting the clothing store, the goal was to get to 1 item sold every month and to ultimately pay for the kids' school fees with that store solely. To that end, we've managed to do it halfway. So now we have enough money to pay for, enough profit from that store to pay for 1 kid's school fees. Yay! And we were selling, I think, 108 items every 90 days, but now it's gone up to 123 every 90 days with 658 items listed, which is super cool. But even cooler than that is the fact that today is Friday and I cleared all the parcels on Wednesday. Yesterday and today we had, and this is coming from a just over a sale a day store. 1 item sold, 2 items sold, 3 items, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 items over the last 2 days, and we need to pack them. What these items actually are, it's not anything particularly special, but I'm excited for the fact that my activity to list and take photos and really get into this category is being rewarded. As to why, several guesses. First of all, let's start big picture. Clothing is a huge category, which means that if me, you, anybody were to participate in the category and do it even at a passable level, we are bound to see activity because it's just so big. I love the fishing example because fishing is that game of skill and luck. Yes, positioning and skill and luck will make you the envy of everybody who turned up on the day, but even if you don't intend to be the envy of the day, you have the cheapest rod, you have arms. All you need is just arms, eyesight, legs, and if you can cast the line relatively decently, you're bound to see some action, if not a bite. And so I think with clothing, that's been my experience, that I'm still nowhere near the level of expertise that I have with toy cars, for example, or Thomas trains, where I know exactly why the buyer buys, but we're already seeing activity. So that's encouraging. So that's the first reason. I think the second reason also is because it's just so wide. You can have a big category, but it's not like we're all digging down the same hole. There's multiple holes, multiple undug spots. It's so full of potential. And as you can see from the selection here, we'll go into the items. I'll do the screenshots. We'll talk about how much they sold for and all that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about the patterns that I'm noticing that help me to then continue doing it. Because I think ultimately, if you're watching a video like this, sure, you might be curious to know what this item is, what it sells for. Maybe you might look out for it. But at the end of the day, if you're hunting for items that I show you, you're going to forget them. You might remember them and it's too much to remember. I really want to get us to a place where if you're watching content, at least my content, I feel responsible to help you to leave feeling more confident about the endeavor. And if I can do that, then I've done my job. That's the point of the channel. Also, if you're new to the channel, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay seller based in Melbourne, Australia. I sell stuff on eBay that I pick up from the thrift store, from flea markets. I get given stuff for free occasionally. I also, and that's more because people just don't want to have randoms come to their house to pick up stuff. So they'll go, hey John, you sell stuff, here, take it. And if I sell it, I'll take it. I also get collections to sell on consignment. And for the most part with toys, it's Facebook Marketplace for me because that's where the best collections come from. I take all those items, I put it on eBay, I sell it for a profit, and that profit is my full-time living. And I've been doing that for the last 6 years. Prior to that, banking, which was nowhere near as exciting. Anyways, let's go through this. So, the first item that sold, well, from most recent downwards, we have a Uniqlo. We have this Uniqlo t-shirt. I don't want to take it out of the bag because it's already nice and flat. So I'm just gonna pop a screenshot. Uniqlo collabs do quite well because they have, it's like a really good clothing brand, and they say, here's a niche of people who really like stuff. We're gonna make clothing for them, and then those people rush to buy the item. It could be anywhere from anime or modern art or Oriental art, whatever it might be. There's someone in the world who it appeals to, and most of those people are generally spread out across the globe. And so eBay is actually a great place for those items to be put back onto the market again when they missed the drop, when Uniqlo dropped them at the time that they did. This one sold for $15 plus international shipping. I like the international shipping model because I charged $35 for international shipping. I always end up making a profit because this to go to the US will only cost us, I think from memory, $19 after the Band 5 discount. Those of us in Australia, if you're not in Australia, we have discounted shipping for volume. And so usually on international shipping, if we charge a flat rate, we tend to make money because it's cheaper to go to the countries where you often goes to, and then a lot more expensive to ship to, say, Brazil or Mexico. But because those are so far and few in between anyways, we cop the fee there, but the profit from here kind of covers there. All this to say, I end up with more money in my pocket selling this overseas than I do locally. Especially the item price is cheaper than the shipping. Next item. Review skirt. This one was interesting because it came in it was in an op shop for $7. There were two of them, and then there was a third one that was $35. I said to the ladies, hey, why is this one so much more expensive than the others? She goes, ooh, took it, went to the back of the shop, came out and said, oh, it's because it's new with tags. I already knew that. But we're willing to do 25. And I go, how's 20 sell? And they were like, all right, fine, do 25. So long story short, we paid $34 for 3 skirts, 1 new, 2 excellent condition. This one sold for $39.95 plus shipping. Asking price. The thing with florals I'm noticing, it has to pop. It has to pop with a strong base. If it's just flat looking every color floral like this one here, this one is review pencil. It went for 20 bucks. $39.95, $20. Also, this story I like because when you're negotiating with anybody on pricing to source, it's worth questioning their logic rather than you insisting that they should follow your logic. So often I see creators, they will comment on how the pricing's too high in op shops or thrift stores or wherever it is, a flea market, or that person must be dreaming, they must be smoking weed, and they use words like it's not good enough, it's unbelievable, that's why it's not moving. But there's this whole murmury kind of complainy tone to the video. I don't like that, because if you want to challenge someone on inconsistency, the only way you can convince them is to let them figure out that, or realize that they are being inconsistent. And even if they thought they weren't being inconsistent, if you're able to present it in a way such as, hey, these two are 7, this is 35, they're all the same size and they're all next to each other, why is that? If the fact that question comes across, yeah, why is this 5 times more expensive? So that brand new with tag skirt had $189 on it, on the price tag, and so they figured 35 is reasonable relative to that. But once they popped it on the shelf, they didn't realize that it was really absurd relative to that. And so that's how we went from 35 all the way to 20. If you do it that way, you're more likely to get an outcome. But if you go in there and say, on eBay it's this much, and on this place that's what I can get it for, they don't care. It's not their logic, and they're not likely to move because they're not being inconsistent. As far as they're concerned, you think they're inconsistent, they'll say, you know what, you can go away, we'll just get the next customer. And chances are they will, because the thing that we don't appreciate is that we're there only for an hour or so every week. They're there for the whole time. The full-timers will know what does move, what doesn't move. And so when you go back to the op shop again and you see that item no longer there, it's sold. So I guess they're right. But no one's going to have the conversation, right? That's just awkward. So long story short, if you want to convince someone to move price, make sure it's an inconsistency on their end, not you. And telling people it's not good enough, it's unbelievable, you're dreaming, like all of that is just combative, and it's not going to get you where you want to go. Sometimes you might even end up being a bully, which is not great for. Forget about personal brand. It's not great for your mood. Like if you leave with a win, you still feel like you had to do all that to win, and it doesn't feel right, you know. And you don't really want to repeat that either. So level-headedness, pay the asking price if it's worth paying for. If it's inconsistent, suggest it might be within their logic, within their system, not your own. What else have we got? We have a Miss Valley Pinafore. These are cute. Anything plaid is cute. This sold for $15. I only paid $2 for it, so this one didn't even sit for that long, to be honest, because the thing here that has sat the longest is this Ganda shirt. Paid $1 for it, sold it for $10, and I've had this for I reckon 6 months now. So this I reckon I've only had it for 3. That's more a case of if it looks nice and the buy cost makes it worth it, pick it up. Mr. Zini tank top, silk, size 12, $24.95 plus shipping. Pretty simple, pretty basic. Goes into a satchel. This is a Q dress. This one was brand new with tag, but the tag was not there. There was like the care tag. You know, they have the brand tag that has the price and the barcode, and then there's the other tag that's like, here's how you can love me and all that kind of stuff. It had that tag, but not the brand tag. So we picked this up. I think we paid $10 for it. We sold it for $30 plus shipping. I'm okay with that. This one was more of a pay $1, might sell for $10, and it sold for $8. Everlast yoga pants, sports pants, ladies tights. This one I like. This is a Wiggles 30 years. I think it's a size M. I'm guessing a mum's gonna wear it to a concert. $29.95 plus shipping. Anything Wiggles, pick up, especially if it's in great condition. Next two things. This is a cider floral butterfly corduroy. I think it's like a 2XL. It's massive. This was the first time I've ever picked up cider. The first time I've actually comped the brand. Lots of them listed. Lots of them that have sold. But once again, comes down to taste. Comes down to size. When I picked this up, I was not aware of, I suppose, the sizing that cider appeals to. This is definitely outside of that, and so the fact that it's still sold, very happy with it. I think I picked it up just before the Christmas rush. I reckon it'll be around October, but nevertheless, from $8 to $39.95, not bad. You'll probably hear me quote different cost of goods. On average, my cost of goods is about $5. I pay up if it's brand new with tag, but for the most part, it's clearance. Most op shops have a clearance rack, and usually clearance doesn't mean bad. It just means it's been here for a bit, let it go. And so there's a good chance you can actually get some really nice items in there, and especially if you go to the op shops that process things loosely, you can get some pretty good labeled clothing from that clearance rack. It could be, sometimes it's 50% off, sometimes it's $2, sometimes it's $1, sometimes it's there's like a bundle deal. The bundle deal is weird. I've been to an op shop that had a bundle deal. I was like, I don't get it. People don't come here to bundle. But I suppose if you're selling it to the underprivileged and they are looking to buy multiple units of clothing because it's cheap, then that is that target market. But not throwing shade at underprivileged people, more just thinking about, as an op shop, if the aim is to make money, you move stock to make money, you move stock at a low dollar value to make money. Targeting underprivileged people with a clearance rack just doesn't feel like the best way to do that. But you are serving your target that you are raising money for to then serve with, mission funding and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, so it just felt weird that there was a bundling kind of aspect to one of the clearance racks that I went to. But that's just once. Most of them have like a flat fee, and then after that, it's a buy one get one free situation, which is great. This was probably the most expensive item that we sold, which is a $40 G-Star roll men's. Feels like it's like a cotton shirt. The reason this was so cheap in the store. I only paid $6 for it, and it was the week after everything opened at New Year, where they had so many donations coming in that there were the racks that had been sorted from the back that were sitting at the front that had yet to be racked onto, you know, the dresses, the shirts, you know, like they've got their racks for the various category of clothing. This was like part of that 4 that was still at the door. And I'm guessing they just were like, just price it cheap, let it go, and then we'll adjust pricing back up again. Nice to know that that actually happens in some op shop, because there is definitely this complaint that thrift stores are stubborn with their pricing, and then when they increase their pricing, they're stubborn there and they don't go down even when stock accumulates. Not all of them. And I think if you do your research around which op shops have a lot of traffic and a lot of donations at certain periods of time in the year, you can get to know the managers, and they will actually tell you, hey, we've got so much stuff here, welcome for you to make me an offer. And they'll do that. And I've definitely met managers who have been great at saying, make me an offer. And I think that's smart, because if they move the stuff, they get more stuff in. Shelf space is at a premium, something that I think we as resellers don't appreciate. Sure, we've got storage, but we've also got infinite eBay shelf space. So this was $40 plus shipping. 11 items. Very happy. Will it continue? I don't know, because once again, I'm still very much a beginner clothing seller, very experienced toy seller, but very much beginner clothing seller. And so I hope it continues. I have been sourcing. I did source today, and we'll keep listing and see if we can build this up. The goal is to turn this into a 6-figure clothing store by the end of the year, meaning that I would like it to turn over at least $10,000 every month in January next year. I think we'll get there. With effort, I think we'll get there. And that's with eBay. eBay, with effort, insight, we'll get there. At this point, this momentous occasion, I would say it's effort, it is consistency, and knowledge that I've gained from not just my own research, but from being part of our Discord community. Sam, Matilda, Alex, Jane, Drew. Who else has been very much into the clothing? Those are it. Toby, Captain Op Shop. Those are the names. Those are the people who we hang out together, we work together, and just talk about the category. Does this brand sell? Hey, I picked this up. Didn't know that sold. Oh yeah, this does sell. Having a community helps you to figure out where certain items sit within their various mini umbrellas. You'll realize that there's layers to every category. Not every category is as straightforward as buy this at this price, sell it at this price. You know, we're not talking iPhone cases here. We're talking fashion that has trends and trends within trends. And so being part of that environment where conversation has led to insight has definitely been helpful to help me to not build up this massive debt pile, to keep the sell-through around the 20% mark, and to feel confident in building upon that, as opposed to feeling like I should slow down, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very much enjoying the category and taking in the novelty that is women's clothing. Women's clothing is surprisingly interesting. Men's clothing I find very boring, unfortunately. I think that if I had to choose, I would probably just do predominantly women's clothing. But there's also still money in men's clothing. Not as much money, but there's still money in it. And so, yeah, thank you to everybody in our Discord who shares openly and willingly and enjoys the process of just being generous. I think that's the best thing. If you are generous, you will receive generosity. You know, the old saying, given you shall receive. And that's been my experience within our Discord community, and also from this YouTube community as well. So yeah, if you don't have a community, join our Discord community. It's called The Meaningful Hustle. Speaks for itself. Hustling without meaning leads to burnout. Is kind of pointless. There needs to be meaning to it. Usually it's connection. Usually it's being able to be understood by those who you're doing it for. And so that's what our Discord is about. We do have a clothing channel as well as a toy channel and a media channel and a trading card channel and a glass and homewares. I'll see you in there. If you're new to packing clothing and you don't know how to pack clothing, you can buy these plastic bags. They're not expensive, and then they also come in a variety of sizes. They plus a satchel do the job. If there are items of clothing that have, you know, diamonds on them or just solid things that might poke through the plastic, consider bubble wrapping as well, and then get a bigger bag. And obviously include that into your postage policies as well, such that you're not tossing up between, oh, do I want to use a small satchel and then save on the, or do I incur the extra $3 to go out to a medium? Always ship and incur the cost that it takes to get the item to the buyer in the way that they would like to receive it, or like you would like to receive it. Popping the bag is not so bad as far as you know, the bag having a hole. It's more that if it's raining and moisture gets into the bag, you just don't want to ruin. Water is like the worst thing. You don't want water to damage anything if you're selling clothing. So yeah, just be mindful of that, I guess. Not that it needs mentioning, but if it does need mentioning, we have now mentioned it. There's a guy buying the Wiggles top. You know what? If you're a dad who would happily wear a yellow Wiggles top for your daughter, good on you. That's what parenting is about. I was having a conversation with a parent at school drop-off today, and they noticed the shirt. Also, the shirt, there is a story to this, apart from the fact that it literally is just Thomas the Tank. The mum was like, yo, you're like a little kid, or like a big kid. And I go, yeah, my dad was a banker. He was very proper, but in the context of Malaysia, needed to be proper. You know, to get anywhere, there was that whole, you need to wear a suit, have your hair combed a certain way, wear a nice watch. There was all that. And I just didn't feel, he did his best, and I never felt like I wanted that, because it just felt tight and I didn't want that. And to me, it's, you know, I'm like this all the time. And so it was a good way to kind of share that story at drop-off with a parent. This year, I constantly get sent inappropriate memes by particularly Rylan and Rob around how Thomas is not a kid's thing. Anyways, and it's stuff like this, except worse. So when I saw this shirt, I said, you know what? I'll wear it because it is Thomas the Tank. Hope you like it. When I picked up these yoga pants, Jenny did say to me she doesn't feel comfortable wearing secondhand yoga pants, and it did go. And then over the course of selling clothing, I've moved from a flat lay situation to a hanging on the wall situation. Got a mannequin as well, more so because dresses, I wanted to be able to show the figure, and it looks better. The data from some of the sellers in our Discord is that when it's hung on a mannequin, it doesn't sell as well as when it's hung on a hanger versus when it's flat laid. I want it to not be that case, but we'll see. And I think with eBay, the beauty of it is that there are sellers who do things a variety of ways and they all make money. As to why that happens, no idea. Call it luck maybe. But yeah, I definitely got a feedback that if from members in our Discord that if they saw clothing on a floor, they wouldn't buy because floor. And I get that. I mean, being Asian, we take off our shoes and the floors are like spotless, but I've also been to houses where keep your shoes on, it's fine. And it's like, it's raining. It's cool, whatever. And the dogs are running around and it's like, just the floor is not clean. So I totally get that. And so it got me thinking, I would like to know in the comments, with clothing, what's like your no-go? When you see a listing that is clothing, what's your thing? Is it, I hope it doesn't smell? Do you look for signs of like no deal? What is your no deal signs? Floor? Is it smell? Is it, you know, the fact that you can see pets in the background? Like, what is it? Let me know. I want to know in the comments, what are your like eBay listing clothing deal breakers as a buyer? Also, if you're wondering how the bags are just sliding straight in, the measurement I think for these bags are 23 by 30 and a half. That's the size of bag that I'm using at the moment. That just slides straight into the small satchel. In case you don't know, you can print international labels out on these 4x6 sticky labels. They will come out a little bit blurry, but they still scan and they still get delivered, and we've been doing this for a few months now. So yeah, in case you're wondering if this works, all you have to do is change your brightness down. If you don't know how to do that, if you go to the printing systems thing. Like when you go to print, you can change your options. You have to change the darkness down a bit. So I go from 6 to 4, and then I change the printing speed from 4 to 2 inches per second. So that way, it actually takes time to print on, rather than, because if you keep the darkness the same and the speed the same, what's going to happen is it just blurs all together, and that's not good because there's a lot more detail there, as you can see. But the numbers do show, and it does scan. So those of you guys who don't know that, now you do. These are retail arbitrage cars. I would have picked these up at Kmart either for $2 when they go on sale for $1.50, sometimes even at $1. These 4 cars, the thing they have in common is rally. As you can tell from the side, these 2 came out in the same year. These are actually from different years. This is Retro Racers. This is Rally Champs. These are from the 80s. We've got a Ford Sierra Cosworth, Audi Sport Quattro, Ford Escort RS2000, and a Lancia Delta Integrale. So this is $8. Let's just say $8 if I pay retail. We sold them for $19 to $34 plus shipping, adding the cost of a small box, and we essentially profit like $8. Do I like the retail arbitrage game? No, but more often than not, I'm selling one of these things with a bunch of loose cars, and that's where I make most of my money. This is like the soft serve. If I was McDonald's, this is my soft serve, the thing that brings people to the store, because it's the thing that people see outside. Something I've definitely noticed with picking items up to sell on eBay is that the manufacturer must continue to keep demand relevant. What do I want to say, hot or warm? Because hot or warm is not really accurate, because you can have relevant demand in really small pockets and still make sales if you are able to cater to those small pockets. So these are the cars that new collectors see in the shop. They then go onto eBay to try and find the rest, and that's where they end up finding me. That's why I like these cars. If I don't stock these cars, it actually lowers my overall impressions in the store, because I'm not bringing in those new buyers. Sometimes I'll end up with an order like this where I don't make much money. Definitely not making more money the fact that I'm talking to you whilst doing this. I just quickly pack it and go $1 for time. You get the idea. But it is a great way to bring buyers in the store, because it connects the relevant with the relevance of old. Should make that a t-shirt. Just like that. Happy customers all day, every day. This is a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10. Once a very sought after car when I was a young boy. I wanted one of these because they were really cool, and they had these like dual tailpipes at the back. Anyways, quite sought after model because everybody has good memories of them. This is in mint condition as well. Brand new, these are $10. This is secondhand. It's still sold for $10 plus shipping. Whenever someone asks me why is it worth selling toy cars, my answer is you need to know the reason why the car sells. A car is such a, what's the word? Cars have been around for so long that everybody has an opinion as to why they would part with their money for one. So whenever you think of selling anything, if you're able to make that connection, you can buy it to sell, and chances are it will sell. I'm oversimplifying it, but that's the basic premise of reselling. You're bringing things from the past back into the present again that people in the present wish was still in the present. eBay lets them do that. They can type in a bunch of keywords that help them to go, is this the like red hat with propeller and flowers embroidered? Somebody will list that item. That's how you sell on eBay. It's that simple. Simply saying that looks cool, I'm gonna sell it, doesn't cut it, unfortunately. I wish it cut it. I wish everything that looks cool, that was ugly, that was funky, that looked like somebody might want it, was the criteria. It's not. But if you can connect how a buyer might look for an item because it means something to them, that item is worth picking up. That's all it is. It's that simple. It's one of those days where It was 40 degrees yesterday, and today it's just humid and muggy, and I'm feeling all sticky. And the sky's grey, and I want to go take a nap. My son had some spicy instant noodles yesterday, and we've been trying to enjoy spicy noodles. Those of you who have had buldak, B-U-L-D-A-K, it's like spicy ramen, spicy Korean ramen that tastes like carbonara because it's got chili in it, and it's also got this cheese sauce powder. It's really yummy. You should totally do it. The next time you buy Korean fried chicken, have one of these ready. Make it, have it together. It's amazing. Anyways, we're trying to get up to like using the full bag, and I get up to about 3/4 of a bag. He had half the bag, and of like chili seasoning, and he was doing really well. Then he gave up halfway through. Had the rest of his dinner. The night was fine. You know, he did his homework. We watched like a couple of videos together. Went to bed. Middle of the night, wakes up. Oh, my tummy hurts, and then proceeds to like throw up, and then all of us were just like, oh. I didn't have to be there because puke just messes with me a lot more than it does Jenny. So Jenny was there, kind of like, you know, there. If I'm alone, I'll do it, but if she's there, she can do it. I'll poop I can do. Poop, I'm fine. And if you're a parent, back me up here. Like, yes, being a parent gives us the courage and the adrenaline in order to go and clean up all those messes, but we still have preferences. We still have preferences. So yeah, but point being is, we all didn't sleep well. I definitely didn't sleep well. Yeah, so Jen got to sleep in. I dropped my daughter off at school. He's at home wrestling now. And yeah, so I'm feeling a bit of a daze at the moment. That's what I'm trying to get at. Feeling a bit of a daze, like, whew. Yeah? What do you need? Yeah, sure. Huh? So this order is going to the same buyer. They've bought a pedal driver. It's like a bumper car looking thing. They've also got, pedal car, sorry. The container for a Matchbox convoy. These things have opening doors, which is really cool. A lot of the collectors will buy these and swap them out between their trucks. I'm guessing blue truck, green truck, you've got the Peterbilts, you've got the Max, you've got the Ford. And then this is these two are monster trucks. This one is Hot Wheels, this one is Matchbox. Yeah? That's okay. We'll get them to replace it. The council can replace it. And then this is a Volkswagen delivery van. So this buyer has bought 6 items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But something that eBay lets us do now is it lets us actually see how many items someone has bought over the last 3 years. And in this case, he's got 5 orders, 19 items, and he's already spent $281.65. And he's only done it in the last 90 days. This is a new buyer. It's a good feeling whenever you create a niche store that you want people to come to, and people come to it and they recognize you to be the place that they should shop at. So I'm very thankful for that. Part of the joy, right? When we talk about the things that make us happy when we sell on eBay, we talk about the sale price, we talk about being able to, the joy or being able to find an item in the wild, like a treasure hunt. But also there's the joy of being recognized that, hey, the thing that you're making is worth frequenting. And that's what I'm sharing with you guys. Like this one. Hello. Can you come say hello?
Hello.
You have to stand like here, I think.
Hello.
Are you feeling better?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Also.
Are you hungry? Or not yet?
Yeah, but I can hold on.
Okay, well, I'm got...
Oh, it's this guy.
Do you know who this guy is?
I remember.
From which show? Without looking at the tag, which show is it
I
from?
already looked at the tag.
Dang it! Which one is it from?
Garfield. Is that tiny mouse that's always in the wall?
7 more orders to pack and then I can come inside.
7 more orders?
But I'm quick!
You also come with a tank
I know. Do you like it?
engine.
Do you like the shirt?
Yes, because it's a tank engine.
I like it when you visit me.
I like it when I'm allowed to visit you.
Excuse me, you're always allowed to visit me. Now YouTube is gonna think I don't allow you to visit me.
Nice try, sucker.
So which one is it? Are you allowed to or you're not allowed to?
It depends.
Depends on what.
If you're in arbitrage focus, or if you're not in no focus at all.
So if I'm in hyperfocus, then you come and say hello, then you go.
No, if you're in hyperfocus, I don't say hello at all.
If I'm in hyperfocus, you don't say hello at all. Interesting. How do you know if I'm in hyperfocus or not? What are the signs?
Then you'd close the garage.
So if the garage door is closed, you know that it's hyperfocus mode and you don't come in?
Daddy,
That's fair.
Daddy, remember that guy from Lord of the Rings you put on top of the shelf?
Gandalf?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about it?
He's lying down.
Yeah, the stand's gone. The stand got broken.
So what are you
I
going to do
need
with it?
to sell it.
But it's a cool toy.
It is a cool toy.
Why can't I use it?
Huh?
Why can't I use it?
Because you do not have the money for it. Remember?
How much do you
I
want for it?
I shouldn't keep feeding you toys so that you actually...
Well, how much do you want for it in the first place?
How much do I want for it in the first place?
Teaching.
You want the Gandalf action figure?
Yeah. How much do you want for it? Minecraft keychain.
Question, why do you want it? You've never even watched Lord of the Rings.
It's because he's a powerful sorceress.
So you want him for the magic.
Mm-hmm.
Is he still holding his staff?
Yeah.
Is he holding his staff or just a sword?
He's holding both.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Wait, hold up. Let's just Google it. Yeah, let's see. Lord of the Rings Gandalf figure. Let's see.
Gandalf.
So Gandalf goes for $10 without his accessories.
Gandalf the Grey.
There's Gandalf the Grey Duck.
Why is he more expensive than Gandalf on his
So
own?
this is the one that doesn't have a sword or staff. It's like $15. With the staff is 20. And then
Is that
staff and sword. Let's see, is there a staff and sword one? Staff and sword, we're looking at 40.
No,
No what?
that's not our one.
That's not our one?
Our one is that.
This one? So he's the one from 2001.
2001.
That's the one.
No, it's this one.
Yeah, except this guy has his hat. This one doesn't have his hat.
Our one doesn't have his hat.
Alright, so $15.
I want it still.
You sure?
It's $14. Really?
Fine, get it for 10.
We get it for 10.
Get it for $10.
I have 10.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool. Can I finish writing now?
Yes. Thank you for giving me that Minecraft keychain and the nunchucks.
I'll give you the Minecraft keychain. Just help yourself.
Yeah, ha ha ha.
No. These are Legends class Transformers figurines. They are the size of Hot Wheels cars. So you can imagine if somebody has a diorama and they want to put cars in there that look like they fit, this is the range that you do it in. These guys sold for... $19.95 each plus shipping. So yeah, they're plastic. They open up. Very easy to transform actually. It's just like this, like that. I guess what do you expect from something that's 3 inches tall, right? But pretty cool. Very detailed. I mean, they could have gotten away with not coloring in the face, but the faces are colored in. They look like proper miniatures. So this is the Legends class or Legion class. They're 3 inches tall. If you do see them in the op shop, just make sure that all the limbs are there and that the wheels are all there. Obviously, if you see them in car mode, it's very easy to disregard them as cheap plastic cars. One of the common responses I get when I tell people I sell toy cars is they go, oh yeah, when I go to the op shop, I'll rummage through the tub. I'll look for all the red line wheels, which is the wheels that have like a red ring around them, or I'll look for stuff with rubber tires, or any old vintage stuff, and they always disregard the plastic stuff. This is the plastic stuff, and this stuff, op shop stuff, tend to put into that tub as well. $1.20. This is a Revoltech Venom figure. I like the Revoltech range because they're just satisfying to pose. So look at this. You hear that? It makes a clicky sound. And the limbs are super poseable. But to be fair, you know, a completely opened up pectoral on Venom looks strange. However, this is the most poseable figure of this size you can find for under $50. Beyond that, you're looking at more expensive hand-painted stuff. Marvel Legends is the more widely distributed one. If you see these ones and you notice there's no marking on them, still pick them up because they could be like one of those smaller alternative brands like Revoltech. These collectors like these, they're not that great in resale wise because they don't fit with the rest of the collection. Something about the finish in the paint, I guess. With the Marvel Legends figurines, the paint is more, it's not this glossy. So if this sits next to a bunch of Marvel Legends figurines, even though the scale is the same, it doesn't look quite right. And collectors get really particular once they start collecting one particular range. So Marvel Legends still the range to sell if you're looking for Marvel action figurines to sell. But yeah, Revoltech also good. This one sold for $23 plus shipping to Denmark. So we'll ship this in a box. We'll also make money on the shipping for this one. Put it in a small box. And away it goes. Small box bubble wrap. This is a Power Rangers Megazord Lion. It's scrunched up because this is meant to be the torso of him. Like there's a head that goes on top, and then this becomes the chest piece. I'll put a screenshot of the completed thing. I find that these sell better as individual parts than as a complete Megazord. It's also very hard to find a complete Megazord, and even if I did have enough pieces to make a complete Megazord, the condition would vary between the pieces that it would not display as a great Megazord. You know, weakest link. If I had one scuffed piece and everything else was mint, it would be priced according to the one scuffed piece. So therefore, it's better to just sell these loose like that. This sold for $40 plus international shipping to Mexico. I love Mexico. I have had very little issues in Mexico. I know that there are, and Chile too, I know that there are sellers who will absolutely swear to against shipping to South America because they say that customers steal parcels. They'll say things go missing. They say that the post people are not gentle with or careful with the parcels. That has not been my experience. The only times I've had parcels bounce back was because I shipped something that I shouldn't have shipped in the first place. So case in point, you are not supposed to ship toys into Brazil because it's prohibited. In that case, if it gets bounced back, I should have known better, right? But beyond that, I've had great feedback from buyers in South America. So if you're watching here from South America, thank you so much. Thank you for supporting Australian businesses all the way across the globe. And you guys are great as well. Like in the Thomas store, I've got repeat buyers from Mexico. I've got repeat buyers for cars from Mexico as well. Action figures too. We recently shipped a very large Galvatron figurine that was where the electronics weren't working. Went to a collector in Mexico. I shipped it as I normally would in a box, and it arrived. There was the buyer left like photo feedback. At the start, I saw a 2 feedback score. Made me kind of go, you guys know I'm okay selling to like low feedback buyers, but at the same time, you can't help but think, you know, low feedback buyer, it's going to a country that people complain about. Could this be the one that breaks the streak of great buyers from Mexico? Nope. Ended up going to a collector. They uploaded 5 photos in the feedback, and in the background there were lots of Transformers. I'll show some photos here. The beauty of it is that the electronics on the thing didn't work, and I stated that in the listing. I have sold to local buyers where the electronics doesn't work, and I stated in the listing, and they still open the case. And when they open the case, even though it gets closed in my favor, it's just annoying the fact that somebody goes, oh, I should get a discount because it doesn't work. Well, the listing said so. So this buyer was like flawless. Yeah, love Mexico. So if you are thinking of shipping stuff to Mexico and you're wondering whether you should or shouldn't, do it. Great country. From my experience. This last one comes with a bit of a story, but before that, please subscribe to the channel. YouTube tells me that half of you are not subscribed to the channel, and that's okay. If you need more evidence, I hope that this video has been evidence enough. But if it's still not enough, I hope that the next video or some of the previous videos will convince you that this channel is worth subscribing to and that it can help you in your eBay journey adventure. Also consider becoming a channel member. For a small amount every month, you will support me to create content, and that's it really. If it's good content worth subscribing to and you feel like it's worth an investment of $4 a month, that's greatly appreciated. Members do get exclusive content on a regular basis, and we are starting to build a bit of a community in there as well, which is absolutely amazing. Never saw any of this coming when I started the channel, and here we are 2 years later, and it's been a dream to serve you, the reseller community in Australia and around the world. This was part of a conversation. So I went into an op shop, I picked up some clothing to sell, and it was a jersey that was stained. I then bought it, cleaned it up, sold it, came back the next week and said, hey, I sold this jersey, by the way, we paid 20 and we sold it for 70. And she was like, wow. And I had more in my hand. Proceeded to ask me, what do I do? Is it a hobby? There are other people who come here and they, you know, I'm pretty sure it's like their full-time income. I say, oh, actually, this also is my full-time income, but clothing is the beginner store. I do toys mostly, and I've just started dabbling with clothing. She's like, really? What toys do you sell? I sell Thomas Trains, Hot Wheels, action figures. She goes, oh, we actually have all these Hot Wheels and toy cars in the back that were donated by like a deceased estate, and we can't move them fast enough because I don't price them, but I feel like they're too expensive. And I go, happy to have a look. She brings out these boxes. I go through them. They wanted, I think, 25 for this. I talked her down to 20. And to that point at the beginning of the video about negotiating pricing, I said, I've already told her I sell these things. I need some profit. And I said, at the prices you're asking for, they'll sit here for whoever comes to see them. I put them on eBay. More people see them. But I do need the fact. The pricing you're wanting is eBay pricing. If you can take some of it off, even half, that will be appreciated. Granted, there were some items where they wanted 15, it would sell for 30 anyways, but if, for example, it was a flat 10 on all of them, I would have done 10 to 20 easily because some of this stuff was actually quite desirable, and I got to pick. If it was 10, if I had to pay 10 for all of it and take all of it, I wouldn't have done it because there were items that were lower value. But because I got to pick, I was happy with that. And so this was 25. She was happy to take 20. It has sold within a week to a buyer in the United States for $55 plus international shipping, which we will, as I mentioned, again, make money on the shipping as well to cover the fee of the item. Tell people what you do. I am a fan of telling everybody that I sell on eBay because there will be the people who don't think it's a real thing and that it's not a real job and that it cannot possibly be a business or a consistent side hustle. Great, people like that exist. The same way how if someone says that they paint for a living, there are people who don't believe that that is a way to feed a family, but many painters do. So there are those people. And then there are the people who know exactly what I do, but do not do what I do. And those people are usually people that can help the business, that I can help their businesses too. And those are the op shops and the people who need to move inventory. Like we're all part of the same, food chain, if you will. Either you're here or here, but product goes through, recycles, goes through, you get the idea. Sell, resell, right? And then there is that very small sliver in between of people who will actually compete with me or you if you tell them exactly what you do. Don't be afraid of telling those people what you do either, because the fact is you've put in time and effort to build this business and you have so much in your head that they don't know. Once you implement it, if they try and copy you, very few people can, or if they do, may not do it successfully anyways. That's just business. Copying is part of business. Coke and Pepsi, there you go, every fast food chain. Copying only gets you so far, and then after that, you do need to differentiate. Again, if someone made New Coke and there was no laws to protect New Coke, people will go to New Coke for a period of time because it's an alternative to Coke. But there comes a point when New Coke needs to not be New Coke anymore. It needs to be nicer than you Coke, fancier than you Coke, affiliated with causes that Coke isn't, or sells items cheaper, more expensive, in fancier bottles, in recycled bottles. You get the point. The long term is differentiation. So sure, you might find some beginners copy what you do to learn what you do, and it gets them started. At some point, in order to compete with you, the OG of your category, they need to differentiate again. Yeah, so, but you stand to benefit so much from just telling people what you do. The number of members in our Discord community who have mentioned things like, I said I resold, they said they had this stuff that I sold, or I said that I'm looking to buy X units of certain item and this person actually had it, but they didn't think anybody would want this many of it. If you don't say it, you're not going to get it. So yeah, tell people what you do. It opens doors, and respect the people whose doors are open to you, and cherish it. Really, really cherish those opportunities. You can only do this alone for so long before it gets tiring and draining and takes a toll on your body. Yeah, every successful reseller you see on YouTube who does the YouTube thing and the reselling thing, all that takes time. If they do it well, they are in a network of people who support them, that they give to as well. Generosity begets generosity. Anywho, I'll wrap this up. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you for entertaining my kid with me. Thank you for just being an awesome member of the reseller community. Be kind, do your research, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.